This conference will now be recorded.
Chuck, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear?
Uh,
I can see us.
I can see you also.
Okay,
I had
perfect.
I had to I had to sign back in again, and I got thrown off. But
It's okay. We were restarting because we had
right,
some camera issue. So Tessa and Anthony, can you see us?
Jim's not on yet.
Yes, I can see you guys.
Okay, great. Because we lost Jim. Hopefully he'll. Okay, I got it, Anthony. So hopefully Jim will be able to come back, and I'll text him or email.
Okay to start, or do you want?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and start out.
Okay, I'm gonna open the meeting. I call the meeting to order. Attendance is a bit dubious today, but we have one commissioner here in person and two online, I think. I'm not sure about Jim, and I'm not sure who caller one is.
I just signed in as a on the phone.
Okay.
And you, Jim?
Yeah, this is Jim. I'm on. I don't know what, something knocked me out on the screen, but I'm on the phone.
Okay, we just fixed a camera problem. So if you want to try again on what you did before, we may be able to get you both on the camera and also on the voice. You want to try that?
Sure, I'll give it a
Yeah.
try.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we had some technical difficulty. So
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, so we have
Okay.
a total of 4 members, so we don't have a quorum.
All right.
But as long as we don't vote on any actionable items, you may proceed with.
So with no quorum, I won't ask for a motion on the consent agenda because we don't have a quorum to vote on it.
Will now be recorded.
We're fortunate to have a presentation today from Kevin Coffey of the City of Bloomington, who's the Chief Engineer of the City of Bloomington. I'm sorry about the confusion, Kevin, but I think we're ready to proceed. Do these folks have a PowerPoint from you?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
Tony?
Yeah. Sorry.
Things are moving kind of quicker than we expected.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kevin.
Well, thank you.
I guess you know, do you know Stan? Briefly.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're all set to go then.
Okay, very good. Thank you for allowing me to come and talk about the City of Bloomington a little bit with our Public Works Department and all the different things that we cover and do. I'm Kevin Cothey, the Director of Public Works, and started with the city and
I apologize for giving you the wrong title there a few minutes ago.
oh, you're fine. You're fine.
You're not the chief engineer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay. And I started with the city in 1988. This summer will be 35 years. 6 different positions at the city over the years. I was the city engineer for 11 years, so I was the chief engineer. But no, it's all good. It's all good. And the Public Works manages pretty much everything in the public right of way, and within the easements and the corporate limits. And the only things we don't manage are state right of ways or county right of ways. But there's a lot to the city of Bloomington. Over 327 miles of roads that we manage. We have 43 miles of private streets, 677 miles of sewers, almost 500 miles of water main. Okay, yeah, sure. And 27 and a half miles within the corporate limits. We help manage over 145 traffic signals. Those include signals that are strictly the city's, but also ones that are shared with IDOT or our IDOT. So we take care of a lot of things in the city. So what is Public Works? Well, we've got a number of different budgets and funds that we work with. And this just kind of gives you a quick overview that the administration component has its own budget. Engineering, which engineering handles a lot of the larger capital projects, and also contract work with consultants and contractors to construct. We do some of our own engineering in-house, but for bigger projects like a Hamilton Road or Fox Creek Road bridge improvement, we'll use consultants, and for bridges as well, we'll use consultants. But you know, engineering manages, oversees a lot of the stuff with the capital budgets. We also have facilities maintenance, which is another budget and division within Public Works that takes care of all the buildings within the city. We have fleet management, which takes care of the city's fleet, everything from you know, police cars and fire trucks to you know, the garbage trucks and recycle trucks that pick up every day around the city, as well as actors and street sweepers and all sorts of specialized equipment. We have a street maintenance area that those folks maintain our streets and our sewers as well, streets and sewers. They do the operations where engineering does the bigger projects. The day-to-day operations is handled by those folks, as well as snow and ice removal. We use the same trucks that are used to help keep the streets in good repair, and pick up bulk and brush are also used and put to work for snow and ice removal. And then we have our solid waste division, which picks up the recycle and garbage and brush. Then we have stormwater management, dealing with the storm sewers and the runoff and the detention basins and all these types of things, as well as water, which provides, you know, the water that when you open the faucet, that water is delivered to you from Lake Bloomington or Lake Evergreen, treated and conveyed through pipes to every business and residence in Bloomington. So we manage everything from the water treatment plant to what comes to your faucet that you use and drink. The bottom row of that slide, those are mainly enterprise funds. And what we mean by enterprise funds is that the enterprise funds, as opposed to a general fund, collect revenues, you know, from typically the residents or our customers who, you know, pay for water, they pay for the sewer, they pay for the solid waste services. So those revenues are, you know, strictly used for those funds to pay for the services that we provide. So, you know, when you look at all the different components here, we manage a lot of different budgets within Public Works. And so for this last year, our total budgets, excluding capital, is $68 million. So huge amount of things that we manage and maintain. Within Public Works, we have 160 full-time employees, and we also hire part-time and seasonal people to help us. So a huge department, and just an assortment of job titles. On this display, there's 46, but we have a few more than that. So we've got everything from engineers and engineering techs to the truck drivers that plow the snow, and you know, a vast array of experiences, you know, from folks that only have graduated from high school, but, you know, are able to, you know, get a CDL and drive a truck, to, you know, folks that have, you know, master's degrees and so forth. So wide range of experiences and you know, titles that go into Public Works and the things that we do. A lot of people don't realize how much we cover. So just a quick overview of the organizational chart. We have within the Public Works umbrella kind of four main divisions. Our Public Service Division, which has sub sections for solid waste, streets, and fleet, and then our Engineering Division, our Facilities Division, our Water Division, which has a number of components under it because, like like I say, we do everything from, managing the water supply to Lake Bloomington, Lake Evergreen, and, treating it and bringing it all the way to the customer. So there's a few more components there. On the sewer side, we don't treat the sewage. The sewage treatment's handled by Bloomington Normal Water Reclamation District. They're a separate government entity, but we manage the conveyance system. So the collection system that takes the sewage from, when you take a shower, flush the toilet, it goes down a drain. That drain connects to the service line that goes out to the street, goes to the city sewer, that eventually ties into a binward interceptor that takes it to the treatment plant, but we don't manage the treatment works. So in our public service division, just a quick overview of some pictures there of everything from, picking up, like I say, garbage in bulk and refuse and operating the Citizen Convenience Center, which our customers of our solid waste system can bring stuff during the week and drop it off. But our folks in streets and sewers also, maintain, dig holes to fix pipes that are broken, patch streets, and set up that those folks also take care of all the traffic control and signage. So when you look at all the signage on the street, whether it's a stop sign, a parking sign, the stripes on the street, the stop bars, the crosswalks, these folks are involved with maintaining all that stuff for all the streets within the city of Bloomington that are ours to maintain. And so just a lot of great people that do a lot of things behind the scenes that people take for granted. In our engineering division, like I said, they handle mainly design and construction and inspection of capital projects, as well as we have traffic people within the division that request, whether it be people concerned about speeding in their neighborhood or safety for pedestrians and so forth. They can submit requests. We'll do a study. We'll figure out if speeds need to be adjusted or if traffic calming is appropriate for a neighborhood and that type of thing. They also maintain all the traffic signals. You can see in the picture some of the different projects that are worked on throughout time, whether it's the sidewalk grinding in the upper right to make stuff ADA accessible, or in the left, the Sheridan School is a Safe Routes to School project where we got a state grant to help improve the sidewalks for the walking routes. In the middle is part of the wayfinding signage project that was deployed a few years ago and has been a great enhancement to the downtown. Traffic signals in the right. Down in the bottom middle, kind of interesting, you see kind of a rendering of homes and backyards and stuff. That's actually flown with a drone. So engineering's had a drone for probably 5 years now. We're able to use the drone to collect topography. So it used to be you'd have to take instruments out and take ground shots to get what the topography is of the ground to do improvements. The drone can fly and get not only the color of the shots, but the shots in the 3D world. And that's actually not a real picture. That's actually a rendering from a computer of 3D. And so we can actually use that then to study the drainage, to fix, issues that arise or even do design work. So really some neat stuff. The lower right is just some camera work, some CCTV, we call it, closed circuit televising of sewers. We have specialized equipment within our public service division that can clean out sewers and get rid of that to, keep them maintained. But sometimes they have to be lined, and we also do sewer lining. And so we, and of course, a lot of this stuff that we do and collect and maintain of our, assets is done using GIS. So geographic information system is a huge part of what we do. And, we've been cooperative through McGIS over the years, helping to, fund everything from aerial photography metrics, and has been a great asset for not just Bloomington, but for Normal and McLean County as well. So in our facilities division, they take care of everything from the parking decks to city buildings and, even the arena. And there's a lot of facilities that maintenance that is required, and they do a great job of that. And then our water division, like I say, we do everything from the lakes, and you can see some pictures of Lake Bloomington in the middle. That's the kind of the white at the edge of the trees. There's a white band in there. That's some recent shoreline protection that's been done in the last 5 years to install riprap to help prevent shoreline erosion and sedimentation in our reservoir. The upper right is Evergreen Lake, which is another one of our reservoirs, and then we help to maintain watershed and wetlands, and then the elevated water tank and on the middle right, and then the lower middle is our Fort Jesse tank being painted. And then on the lower left, that's the Fort Jesse tank before it was painted with the roof removed because there was a damage that needed to be repaired. And so they put on replacement girders and then new steel on the top and repainted everything. But, it's been, I think it's been 25 years since we painted it, so it desperately needed painting. But it's a big project nonetheless. In the middle and then in the lower right is what happens if you go a long time without cleaning the lines. We use a lot of different treatment processes up at the lake, including a line to help remove contaminants out of the water. And so that lime, as it circulates through pipes up at the plant, can build up over time. And so we had to do some cleaning and rehab of some of the lines up there, but that's what that is showing. As part of our work that we do in Public Works, we use a lot of resources, including a lot of master plans. This is not necessarily all inclusive, but a smattering of all the different master plans that we refer back to. And so you'll see in here some very specific things like a Brick Street master plan that's specific to Bloomington, but you'll also notice that there's other plans that we refer back to, like the Go Safe McLean County plan or the Metropolitan Long Range Transportation Plan below it. We also work with Ecology Action Center on solid waste plans, and there's a 20-year materials recovery and resource management plan. Those are not just for Bloomington, but as cooperating with all the other local agencies to better our community, not just Bloomington, but Normal and the county as well. And then one of the more recent plans that is in the works right now is a downtown Bloomington streetscape project. You'll see it's in progress in the lower right. And that's a concept plan that's being worked through right now with city staff and a consultant. And it's in process. It's not ready for prime time or presentations yet, but it's something in the works to look at in conjunction with stuff that IDOT is planning to do with 51 to how we can improve pedestrian access and bikes and everything else, in and around the downtown. So a lot of different things that obviously the commission is familiar with, different parts and pieces of this, but a lot of things that we reference and use as we go about our work in planning. So that's a quick overview of our public works and everything that we do. There's a lot more detail. I could speak for hours on it, but I just wanted to give you that quick overview and see what questions you might have for me.
Hours, if not weeks.
Yeah.
Continue.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it
really
is. Yeah.
Questions from commissioners online? Are the commissioners online able to communicate with us now? Okay.
Yeah, you can close it.
Anybody online have a question, or do you, Stan? And I think Kevin would be glad to take questions from staff as well.
Yeah, looks like Jim has a question. Jim knows all the answers, though.
Go ahead, Jim.
Jim is muted.
I think you're muted, Jim.
Let's try this again. Kevin, I appreciate the presentation. As you mentioned, there's probably a lot of things that get done by the city that don't get noticed by the taxpayer. As far as an intergovernmental agreement with either Normal or the county or surrounding communities, what are a couple of the ones that are most significant in your mind that the public doesn't see?
There's a lot of, behind the scenes with our, solid waste stuff, whether it's, recycling or, obviously in Bloomington, we have, the curbside recycling, but like, the drop boxes, that are in Normal right now is a partnership of, Bloomington Normal and the county with, Midwest Fiber to manage those now. Just so many different things on that front with, recycling and waste management, hazardous household waste. We partner, to sponsor those and, potential for, with a state grant right now, potential to looking for a site for a permanent household hazardous waste facility. So just a ton of cooperative things with, Normal in the county, and then also, through Ecology Action Center on that. I don't think a lot of people know that. And of course, we've had long-standing intergovernmental agreements with, everybody to have the McLean County Regional Planning Commission as our MPO. And, there's, other city-state agreements for maintenance of infrastructure that goes on. Just a whole host of things that people take for granted, but if it works, no one says anything. But when it doesn't, we hear about it.
But I appreciate that example, and I don't know who is a person to carry the message on intergovernmental agreement, whether it's Public Works or whatever department it is, but without being critical, I don't know that we have the community reporting news that we had in the past, whether that's radio or print or whatever the case might be. Obviously, our landscape is changing, but it is what it is. But there is a lot of cooperation. I hope that people understand that as well as they can. But thanks for your help today.
Yeah, well, and thank you for highlighting that.
Kevin, I do have a question.
Yes.
And no examples in mind, so no specific details. But I'm curious, we look at pipes, we look at roads, we look at maybe fiber optics. Oftentimes these are sharing the same pieces of property, right? Can you speak to the degree of decision making when it's right to touch one, maybe it's right to touch all three? How do you go about prioritizing those just to maintain or make sure that when you invest resources in this space, you're kind of catching all you can at that moment?
Right. So there's a lot that goes into managing the right of way. So we have, the city utilities, but then we have, other utilities as well. A lot of people are aware of, the Amerants and the Corn Belts and the, Comcast and now of course Metronet. But there is a ton of other fiber companies that want to be in the public right of way as well. And, some of what we deal with is also state law requirements. So if it's a public utility in Illinois, we can't deny them access to the right of way, but we can permit where they go in the right of way and their interference with other utilities. So we have engineering staff that reviews plans. Everybody that wants to be in the right of way has to submit a plan about what they're going to do and where they're going to do it. And, of course, we don't control IDOT right of way. IDOT permits that separately, but whether it's a fiber company, a small cell, whatever it might be, that they're coming to us for permits. And then whenever we do work on our utilities or our roads and stuff, we try to coordinate any types of repairs before the roads resurface. For instance, with the CCTV, we'll make sure to go in and televise the sewers and make sure that if there's a defect, we repair it before the road's fixed. Same with water, we'll do what we can. The most frustrating thing is when we just resurface the road and it has to be dug because there's something going on there. Can't catch everything, but we do our best to catch all the main stuff. One of the things that people don't always realize is that the services that go to individual properties are owned by those properties. So the city offers through on the water billing a leak protection by default, but then we also offer serve line protection for water lines, water service lines, and sewer service lines. And some people, purchase that a monthly addition on their water bill, and it can help immensely because a lot of times the homeowners don't realize that even though there might be a hole out by the sidewalk, it's likely in their own service line. And, they'll be surprised by how much sometimes that can cost to repair. And those insurance programs kind of help. It doesn't necessarily cover 100% of the cost, but covers enough that it can be a great help for a homeowner that didn't realize that they've got a sewer that has partially collapsed, or a tree's invaded it, or other things like that. So.
Any other questions?
Everyone was calling number 2.
Caller, who's calling? Did you say the request?
Yeah, it is. Somebody. I don't know if the caller number 2, we have somebody who called in, and if somebody want to ask a question.
I guess not.
Who's moving the arrows? Do we? Who's moving the cursor?
Oh, I am. This one?
Yeah. Because I don't know if you're trying to tell us something or.
Oh, no, I was muting the people that have their microphones on.
Okay. If not, I have one question.
Yep.
The ongoing streetscape project, when do you anticipate that to be over, or the design to be completed, or whatever concept plan?
They're working through the process right now. I think that's something, will be presented later, probably this summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not in, in its current form, there's not a lot to share yet. Right. Yeah. So, yeah. A lot of discussions and ideas and that type of thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, I know you have another meeting to get to, and we should let you go, but thank you very much for the presentation. I'm sorry our audience is as small as it is, but we have some illness in the organization. We can't help that.
Right. No, I understand.
But thanks very much for doing
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
We'll see you next time.
Okay.
And staff, Mr. Chairman, we will share the PowerPoint with the whole commission after the meeting. So that all the commissioners will get the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you so much.
You.
So next, we're in item number 6 now, B. Tanya, are you ready to go with the housing report?
Yes.
I should say regional housing initiatives.
So I'll just stand here. Okay. For housing data research, MCRPC has finalized the house data dashboard updates with 2021 data, and updates can be found in our website, MCRPC website. Regarding the RISE grant awarded to MCRPC by the DCEO, the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity last year, staff is working with the DCEO in finalizing the agreement for execution. The grant will be used to prepare a housing recovery plan in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Local updates, the City of Bloomington and the Town of Normal have completed their community development block grants annual action plans for 2023 and 2024. They include housing programs such as homeless outreach and prevention, affordable housing preservation, and new affordable housing projects. The plans are now open for public comment until the end of March, and they can be found in their respective websites. For state updates, Governor Pritzker has released the fiscal year 2024 budget proposal. The budget includes $350 million to continue funding Home Illinois' plan to prevent and end homelessness. This is a 2-year plan that was launched last year. The Illinois Emergency Homeowner Assistance Fund is open and receiving applications once again. Households can receive up to $60,000 in mortgage assistance. And finally, the Illinois Core-Based Rental Program is also open and receiving applications. Applicants may qualify for up to $25,000 in emergency rental payment. People can apply for both assistance funds through IDA's website, which is the Illinois Housing Development Authority's website. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. Any questions for Tanya? Anybody online have a question?
Yeah, I'm curious. Back in last fall, with respect to the Coalition for Homeless Housing, there was talk about standing up a position. In my notes, it was Housing Stability Navigator, maybe under a different name now. What is that? I don't think I've heard an update since if that position was ever stood up and enforced.
Yes, if I may, yeah, that's regarding a position that the housing coalition was thinking of creating, but the funding they try to look for funding, and I think they spoke with maybe the city, the town, maybe the county, and then I think there was another entity, but they don't have the full funding as expected yet, so they're still working on trying to get funding to have that position funded.
Thank
you. Yep.
If they get it funded, where would that position end up being organizationally? Where would it be?
That's also a question that they pose to members of the coalition, see who would like to house that person.
Okay.
I think there was interest from at least one of the nonprofits.
Okay.
Yeah, it just since the funding is not all in place, so in terms of administration of it, it's not all finalized.
And that may determine where it's housed as well, where the funding comes from.
Yes, and also some fiscal responsibility and all those arrangements. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
If that were to get legs, that would be something I'd be interested in finding out. That way we can pass along that primary resource to our school.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, we'll, if we hear something, we'll definitely let that.
Are you going to do the Vision Zero for Safe?
Sure, yes. So the next item, 6.3, is regarding the transportation safety. We put under the name of Vision Zero, the Go Safe McLean County Action Plan Project. What it translates to, as you know by now, there's 3 grants that we have been awarded through IDOT and also the federal government related to transportation safety. From the federal government, that's the one we call SS4A, the Safe Streets and Roads for All. And we got word about just a few weeks ago, almost a month ago now, that we've been selected one of 6 in the state of Illinois, got this action plan grant under this SS4A. And just this afternoon, earlier, Federal Highways Administration, the Office of Transportation Secretary from Washington, D.C., they held the first webinar for all the grantees. And Ms. Six and I participate in that. A total of, for action plan grants, there's like 400 and some grantees. And then there was a category for implementation, which we are not. There's only under 30. And so in total, the whole SS4A programs, they have given award to over 500 entities over the whole country. So, but we are fortunate to be one of the 6 in the state. So the next step is on the grant agreement on that, and we should be hearing from FHWA, Federal Highways Administration staff in terms of that. So that's the status. For the other 2 IDOT grants on transportation safety, one is regarding cyclists and pedestrians, and that one we are working on the RFP, the request for proposals for consultants. We've held an initial meeting with the law enforcement representatives from the local enforcement agencies. So we are working on the RFP to get vendors to video production related to that topic. The third grants that we have been awarded on that same subject, it's what we generally call the SPR, is the State Planning and Research Grant, but it's related to transportation safety. It's more in general, broader, all modes of transportation, the entire county. And on that one, we are working with IDOT on the agreement at this point. So just give you an update. Yeah, just sometimes I kind of want to talk a little bit more because there's some folks that participating on the call today or in the audience. They may not familiar with all these fun programs, but basically that's the status.
And it's good for all of us to hear it again. And the broadband?
Yes, broadband breakthrough. This, as you recall, we mentioned it last month's Plan Commission meeting. This is a technical assistance that has been awarded to McLean County government. So McLean County is one of 5 counties in the state that has received this technical assistance. The county government, particularly the administration, along with a number of partners, including Farm Bureau, us, universities, and others in the community, we through like a 14-week intensive program. The goal is to create a plan that would allow the county to seek providers for internet, better internet services, and in a more affordable way and most reliable ways, better speed. That's the plan. And for now, we are pushing for a survey. I'm just waving it. I don't know if it can be zoomed in Tanya or Francesca. You still probably may not be able to see it, but we're pushing the county along with our partners. We're pushing for a survey for the entire community of McLean County. So everybody who lives, whether you're in normal Bloomington or the unincorporated areas or one of those 20 rural communities in the county, we would encourage you to participate in this survey that would help us to have a better idea what kind of internet service are you getting or not getting, how good or how bad. And so with all the information collected, we will be able to compile them, actually assisted by University of Illinois Extension and also the State Office of Broadband, the Benton Institute in Chicago, and some other technical assistance providers, and so that we can have the information to better plan or prepare the plan that we aim for. So we're trying to in different ways to get the word out. So if you can help us, that will be great. We have the link and information how to get to the survey on our website. It's on county's website. You can do the QR code. We are pushing it through social media along with our partners, through school districts and other, the Farm Bureau and others. And so we really try to reach the entire county population on this because it affects everybody. We know this program is funded by the United Soybean Board, but then it's not just geared towards the rural area, but it really the focus on the rural area. But we would like to see participation in the urban area too, because they are interconnected. We understand also it's not just on agriculture, but also on telehealth, tele-education, and other ways to help our daily living. And people from the rural area do come to the urban area and vice versa for different purposes. And we know agriculture sector, they can use farmers and whatnot, they can use better broadband to achieve better production for the crops in different ways. So this is really would impact the entire county. And so we would encourage all of you to participate. And I'll email also to the plan commissioners after today's meeting, the flyer as well.
Right, thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that anybody wishes to bring up? Without a quorum, we can't formally close the meeting because I guess we really didn't formally get it open. But I think if nobody has any more questions, we'll call a close to this. And I thank you for being here, all of you, staff and fellow commissioner. And see you again next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can decide.